Welcome. I'm happy to see you. I have a special friend. My friend called Joseph, Joe, and Katie. Welcome to Gambia, and welcome for your kindness. You kind for many Gambian people in this country. And God bless you. Go back safe homeland. I wish you come back my country, Gambia, for holidays again. A beautiful darling, 10 in million, 1 in million is who Katie, with a strong man, handsome man. Marode, angakele marobane, akele marobane, ulaba kele marobane. Kolata baila, welcome to Gambia. I'm happy to see you with your strong man Joe. Jo ini wula rajo dunia ziti dunia domo dunia tamang tamang Siti dunia dumo dunia tamang tamang ala bojo ini wulara. Nia jamba fole ma jojo ini wulara. Keti kolata paida keti. Good woman, nice to meet you with your good mom. Boss man, boss lady.
One here. Tell me what to do.
Ouch. As you know, the River Gambia is about 500 kilometers long, and it is also divided into two main parts. We have the freshwater area and the saltwater area. This part is saltwater, very rich in fish, like tilapias, silvertail mullets, barracudas. Both sides of the creek The green vegetation is mangrove swamps, and these mangroves are very important here. Normally, we have ladies using the bigger branches for fencing their gardens, and the dry ones are used as firewood. And then normally also during low tide, we have ladies going in small dugout canoes, as you can already see the oysters on the roots of the mangroves. And they come in small dugout canoes normally during low tide because that's the best time to collect the oysters. And in this area we have just a few trees because we don't have most of them. Unless you go to the north bank, you have lots of them. But they are very slow growing trees because they take about 40 years to get mature.
In northern India, they don't have enough vultures now, so the Zoroastrians are leaving their dead out and they're not being eaten.
That sounds interesting, you know.
So you could export your vultures to northern India.
We'll have you back.
No, it's not heavy, it's just awkward.
Okay. Thank you now. Okay. Next.
I like it in boats. But not that much. Especially with 2 kids. And there's always a breezy, you know, in London when it's still and snowy. Oh look, Joe, they've got wooden wind chimes.
I take them to my kiln, where I fire all my pots. I take them, you know, it takes me up to 2 days process. My name is Seni. Seni, my surname is Ture. I'm from Ture family.
At what age are the children?
7 to 14 years old. The camel food tree mostly in the males.
That's in the males?
In the males, yeah.
How does it work?
Mostly in the males. The females doesn't know the secret, how to get it out, to keep the witches away from the small
So
children.
they use the bark or the leaves?
The bark of it.
The bark of
Yeah,
it.
the bark of it, yeah.
So is the bark antiseptic?
The bark is?
Is it antiseptic?
No. This out seed coat will be removed and then the inner part will be red. You will remove, completely red. In the Gambia, they are trying to eradicate circumcision of the ladies, but still now ladies are also circumcised.
Does every tribe has circumcision?
Yeah, every tribe.
The elephant tree that you can trace out from this tree. And just at the back here, on the trunk itself. On the trunk, just in the middle of the trunk itself. Can you spot something?
You are welcome to the roads. Here is the original home of Kunta Kinte. I am very happy to see you here. May you come here safely and you go back peacefully and alive. Julolia Maleke Diatera, Julolia Rabdu Franja Juna Diatera, Waingana Simbomba, Simboya Bekonda, Lela Minbana.
Interest was narrated the history of this family to Alex Haley, and then he was able to write the book Roots and produce the film. 85% of the history in the book Roots was history from this family here. That's why in the whole of the Gambian history, this is one of the most important family, and then is the backbone of Gambian tourism. And then they acted the film Roots from this village towards the Fort James Island, and the rest of the movie was made in America. The history of Kunta Kinte was in this village even before Alex Haley came here. So Kunta was born in 1750, his mother was Binta Kinte, and his father was Omoro Kinte. And he was brought up here until at the age of 14, then they took him to circumcision, which is in our Gambian tradition. If you get to this age, your parents will decide to take you to the bush school. In those days, we don't have schools like today. There was no Western knowledge. And they will take the children in the jungle, make them sit under a big tree, where they sing and dance to them. They show them a lot of signs and symptoms in our society. And this will help most of these African children to know how to act in their societies. So according to history, they spend weeks, 3 weeks or 4 weeks in the circumcision, and they will circumcise them manually. In those days, if they circumcise you with a knife, if you will cry, they will say you are not a man. It will be a shame to your family. But if you don't cry, then you become a warrior, which is not easy. So Kunta Kinte was the only warrior in this village. He was laughing instead of crying in the circumcision field. Kunta Kinte was kidnapped, and then later he was transported to America. And when Karaba Kunta Kinte was here, it was just like at this time of the rainy season. In those days, many people, they cannot grow their crops because there was no enough rainfall. So they request Karaba Kunta Kinte to pray for them as a holy man. And then he prayed for the villagers for weeks and days. And then after praying for them, that year they have heavy rains.
They tell us that with yellow fever and hepatitis, and all I take is malaria pills.
Hello, last word. Be careful, big crocodile. Live in the island.
Wasn't that funny today when everyone stops in the middle of those ants and they're all getting bitten and hopping up and down?
We're in the Bijilo Forest Park, which is the oldest established forest park in the Gambia, probably in all of West Africa. Obviously being monkeys, this is what they would normally eat. They're not in the least bit sure whether or not this is really something edible. Do you want to try that, laddie? Yeah, George. Do you want to try?
Now, did you see a similarity between the monkey and your nephew there?
He's a little monkey.
There you are.
haven't got lucky something, you've got big fingernails.
He went up the tree just so you could feed him.
Oh, thank you. So gentle the way they take them. Right-handed. Baby's left-handed. This is feel like they're kind of greedy. Yeah. There's a whole troop of red colobus here, move down to where I am. We've seen colobus monkeys and we've seen green vervet monkeys. We've seen a whole troop of green vervet monkeys and discovered that green vervet monkeys do not like honey roasted peanuts, they like their peanuts raw. We also found out last night at the Senegambia that they're very fond of cashew nuts. So fond that if you hold your hand out for them to take a cashew nut, they'll pretend to take it with one hand and then grab the whole bag with the other and gallop onto the roof with it before Joe can get there.
But true toys were coming here. So those one that we collect from them.
As teachers too, we have Christians in the school and Christian teachers in the school, and we also have Muslim teachers in the school.
So there was a
sorting everything out. Induction day.
It's very easy. Marriage is so much easy as divorce. You can marry today, if you want next week to divorce, no problem. That's why on the way coming I told you that we don't normally sign papers. Rich, poor, sick, no. Even the educated ones never do that. No, we don't do that. And if you go to any village in the Gambia, it's headed by a very, very important individual. We have a local name which we normally call them alcalos. We do have chiefs, and the chiefs are the heads of more than one village. The way they vote is they will, in the community, they will look for a very, very honest man and a trustworthy, and also they will look for a very, very religious man too. They are responsible to collect tax because these people, they do pay tax. Give out land. When you want a land, you have to go to them. But for them, they don't have to buy. They don't have to buy. But anyone other than living in the village, like outside, coming to the village, you have to go to them and buy the land to them. Okay? Like the tax, they do pay for huts and corrugated iron seeds. These are corrugated iron seeds, and they do have huts. Hut is $5 per year. And corrugated iron seeds, $10 per year. And lots of them still now, they can pay it. Expensive for them. The way we are living there and the way they are living here is really different. Here, the man don't have to rent 4 different cells for these 4 different wives. Here, the man will gather all these 4 wives and put them in the same house like this one. But in Serakunda, it's different. If you have 4 different wives, they can't stay together because always problems every day. So what the man have to do, he have to rent 4 different cells for them. And at least each of these cells you have to pay $500 every time, at least £12.50 every month. £12.50, 500, which is very expensive. $2,000 per month. The man, it's more easier for him to control the wives he marry and stay with them here than in Serakunda. In Serakunda we have problems like if you marry all 4 educated wives, ladies, big problem. You can't keep them. Big problem all the time. That's why they don't stay there. Okay. But here, lots of the ones you marry here, they are not educated. If you marry them, if for example, wife number 1 is always creating problems for wife number 2, wife number 3. And this is the type of houses they are living in, mud houses. We have cement houses in Serekunda, or on our way coming you've seen lots of houses unfinished, or lots of lands, they just put a fence around. Okay, the reason is here in the Gambia we don't save for an actual amount to build a house. Like I'm working today, if I have a land, what I will do, if I receive my salary, I will just take 3/4 of it or half of it, go and buy cement and keep it. When I receive my salary again, I go and buy sand, and then I call the contractors to make the foundation. That's why it takes about 5 to 6 years sometimes to complete the cell. Okay? Or the other one is putting a fence around the empty piece of land. If you don't do that, the head of the village can just take your land and sell it to another one. And for plastering the house, what they do is that you know the oyster cells? The oyster cells. What they do, they will collect the oyster cells, dry them, and later burn them into powder. And the powder, they add water for whitewash in their houses. Or what they will do, the powder of this oyster cell, they will mix it with the soil, add water, very good strong cement for plastering their houses like this. And in Banjul, we have taps in our compound, running water. Okay, but here they don't have access to running water. These hand pump wells are normally donated to us by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Kuwaiti government, and the Federal Republic of Germany. And in the Gambia here, 99.75% of the population, they normally use wood for the cooking. Wood, because gas is very, very expensive. The ladies have to do the cooking, the washing. The ladies have to do everything. Yeah. Ladies, they work really hard. They will bring you a cup. You can have the bottle.
I only drink at night,
I think you have a drink of coffee.
when the place is dark.
Go ahead.
I got up, someone was
Bravo, good.
So, we do what? You hook it up here. Ah, right, so you've got it actually. Hold here. And here.
Just pull yourself towards the tree.
Forward and you swing it up.
Hold them together.
Yeah.
Just pull yourself to the tree and go up. Just pull straight. Pull yourself towards the tree. Force. Just push yourself. All right. And fling it. Don't lean. Don't lean on it. There. Okay. And then just fling it. It's easy.
You do it. No, I'm not doing that.
Go on, it's going to volunteer.
It's okay.
Go on. One step and throw. So up it's 2 steps and throw, and down is 1 step and throw.
You can go and have a try.
I had a try yesterday, I wasn't much use. Imagine if you dabbed this on an insect bite, it would take this thing out. It's very medicinal.
Oh yes, warm me up.
Yeah. It's a case of getting the knack, isn't it?
Yes.
No, a souvenir. Yeah.
But, oh, aren't they tiny?
Egg, water, milk. Then it will be fried over vegetable oils. At the end of the day, it will be served with honey on the table. It's a mixture of pancake. This is the mixture for the pancake, and it will be served with honey on the table. Very nice.
Yeah, sounds great.
A nice breakfast in advance.
Yeah, that's the normal Gambian breakfast, isn't it?
Exactly, you're right. You're right.
In this creek we do have crocodiles, but they are occasionally spotted out, maybe once in a year. And further in, bottlenose dolphins are also spotted out a lot. But by all means, the creek is very rich in fish, and the common fish we obtain around here are tilapias, yellowtail mullet, catfish, needlefish, and big ones like the barracudas or the ladies fish. And also we have manatees, sometimes called the sea cow.
So you fish with a net?
No, no fish, but nets. I have nets here.
They're inside the bait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, when the water is overflowed, now we go and pull. Then we catch fish.
You'll never get this bloody thing.
See you next year.